Welcome to today's episode of Your Daily Scrum.
I was like scared by the camera. Oh, here we are.
I'm professional Scrum trainer Ryan Ripley. This gentleman next to me is Todd. I was born ready Miller.
and then I'm not ready at all. Then I'm like scared that the camera's on.
Whoa, that's Ryan. Hey.
Yeah.
So what we do each and every day is bring an episode of this show to you so that you can try to do your Scrum a little bit better each and every day. We wrote a book, Fixing Your Scrum, Practical Solutions to Common Scrum Problems. That book should also be quite helpful in improving your Scrum practices. If that's not enough, there's a ton of other content on this YouTube channel, so you should like and subscribe so you don't miss Fixing Your Agile Coaching, Fixing Your Kanban, Fixing Your Agile Metrics, and a whole slew of other shows. Be sure to check out the comments section. Leave us your questions. Your questions turn into videos. It's like Agile magic. All right, Todd. What is the difference between forecasting and committing? Go.
So I have been known to put Google to work and come up with definitions straight out of the Google machine.
Nice.
And so I just want to read one for commitment quick. An engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action.
Ooh.
That's commitment. Commitment in the way that we're talking about it here. So the question here was around what's the difference between forecasting and committing during sprint planning, right? So an engagement or obligation that restricts freedom of action. That's commitment. Forecasting is a prediction or estimate of future events. Especially coming weather or a financial trend, right? Yep. So predict or estimate a future event or a trend, right? So pretty big difference between the two, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think there's a huge difference. The forecast acknowledges the uncertainty of the future. The committing basically says, here's what we're going to do, and any subsequent actions are going to be restricted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or limited. Let me say limited.
Yeah.
And so clearly in a Scrum environment, we're favoring forecasting.
Yeah.
Right. We need the ability to forecast. Well, look, we are working in a complex domain of work. And when this is not a video about complexity, if we were to try to summarize Snowden's work or the work of others in a 5-minute video, we would not do it justice. All we're going to say here is in a complex domain, we believe that more is unknown than known about our work. Mm-hmm. And so if we have more unknowns than known, forecasting seems like the only responsible way to go forward to me.
Yeah, and we continually update that forecast, right? Every day, every day, we update forecasts, and we do have commitments, right? We do have commitments now in Scrum Guide 2020, but we have commitment to specifically a sprint goal. That's an outcome of sprint planning. Just have a sprint goal. We do commit to that, and notice it says goal. It's not plural. We always say there's no commas, there's no ands, there's no ticket numbers. It's a single goal, right? And it should be something that your customer is receiving. It should be very customer centric. We like to say a path to our customer. I think we wrote that in our book. So we do have that. We also have the Scrum value of commitment, right? We're committing to be professionals. We're committing to building high quality work. We're committing to using Scrum. We're committing to be a good teammate. Those very human behavior type commitments. The commitment that I believe we're talking about here, though, more so is the sprint goal commitment, right?
Yep. I think that's really helpful to people, right? The commitment is at the sprint goal level. The sprint goal is formulated in such a way that there's flexibility and creativity for the developers to actually achieve it, right? It's not locking in scope. It's not limiting options. And that's because we're in this complex space. It's look, you can either opt for a crystal ball or the Doppler radar. In Scrum, we're saying, look, the Doppler radar is more reliable. It gives us information every minute, every second as things change. Your Scrum practices should be set up in such a way that you are also able to have updated information rather frequently.
Yeah.
Right? We should all of our, each and every daily Scrum is an opportunity to check our progress towards the sprint goal.
Yeah. Check our forecasts and as it relates to us achieving the sprint goal, and adapt a plan for the next 24 hours that will get us a step closer to the sprint goal, right?
Every 24 hours, my wife and I, before we fall asleep, we check. I know that the weather comes on at 10:19 and it ends at 10:23, and that's when the TV's off. We check the weather each and every day, every 24 hours to see if something's changed. Scrum teams, you're working the same way, except hopefully you're not working that late at night. But every 24 hours, you're checking in on the radar. What's going on? What's happening? What do we need to adapt? What do we need to adjust? And yeah, it's got to be in a complex domain. Oh, look, real quick, Todd. The Farmer's Almanac is the equivalent of committing in weather, right?
Yeah.
And the Farmer's Almanac is horribly off. You're better off flipping a coin than trusting the almanac. Yeah. So let's get up to the 21st century. We are forecasters. We believe in data and updates and short feedback loops and frequent check-ins of progress. That's where we're at. Forecasting is the way to go. Yeah, I'm not sure what else we can say here.
Yeah, either. What I'm curious is, are you struggling with the difference? Right. We comments below. We always ask for this, but is your company still bent on the sprint commitments? Right? Are you not using sprint goals? What's happening in your environment? Is this still an issue for you? So I know that it is for a lot of companies, and so hopefully this video helps a little bit. But interested in some feedback here. What's happening in what's happening with the word commitment in your environment?
We'd love to see your comments and questions below on this one. Right, this could definitely lead to some fun stuff. Yep. All right, another fun thing, Todd. What is this?
The end screen.
This is where you can find all of our socials, like and subscribe. Check out the videos below. We think they'll be helpful. There's, Todd, I think we're close to 150 of these episodes now, which is just wild. I think we're actually past that. Tons of Scrum content out there for everybody to check out. It's just wild, isn't it? So like and subscribe, never miss a video. Leave us your comments. Your comments turn into videos, and that means we keep going. For Todd Miller, I'm Ryan Ripley. We hope this was helpful. Become forecasters. Put the crystal balls away. Go forward, do some good things. We'll see you tomorrow.